Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Car Reviews podcast on CollectorCarCanada.CA. Another special unit today. We have a 1950 Ford Prefect, which is special in itself. We don't see too many Prefects on the road anymore. But a special item about this is that the proceeds are being donated to the British Saloon Car Club of Canada. So as I say, the owner has graciously offered to donate the proceeds from this no reserve auction to the British Saloon Car Club of Canada. And in turn, Collector Car Canada is also donating the buyer premium to the British Saloon Car Club of Canada. So a neat car, a no reserve car, so that adds to the excitement. And a worthy cause for this one. So what we'll do, this one's going to be lot 201 on CollectorCarCanada.CA. So please watch for it. You'll find our normal detailed listing with paragraph form description, lots of photos, lots of videos. So we'll start this one up and take a little tour of the 1950 Ford Prefect with a 1.17 liter inline four-cylinder engine and 3-speed manual transmission shifted on the floor. So a fun old car. It does have a choke that I controlled there to get it started. All right, so here's a look at the engine compartment of the 1950 Ford Prefect. Again, with a 3-speed manual transmission. You can see the badge right here indicating the displacement. 1.17 liter inline four-cylinder engine and a really tidy engine compartment. The current owners had the car since 2015, and when I remarked at how clean the engine compartment is, he mentioned that he painted the engine compartment himself. So here's a good sound. You can see the belt turning and a good listen to it running. Let's move back to the back and we'll hear the exhaust note. There's a single exhaust on this 50 Prefect. And we'll get a good listen to it here. So now I'll shut the engine off and we'll do a little tour of the car. Another look at that engine bay. But I'm going to close the hood now and we'll get a look at the whole car. Pretty neat hood ornament and a nice emblem. So we'll just give it a little walk around here. I'm in the shade and the car's partly in the sun, so the lighting's a bit of a challenge. I think I pointed out that 1.7 liter badge to indicate the displacement of the engine. But a nice presentation of this car. We're pretty sure that white is not the original color of the car. But the white finish is quite presentable, and there's a blue pinstripe along the side of the car, which sort of makes things pop a little better. And the owner speculates that the vinyl roof might have been related to the shortage of steel and metal at the end of the World War II. This being a 1950 model, so it would have been built about 4 to 4.5 years after the end of the war. So a neat set of Firestone tires on this car, definitely period correct. And they went on as new items in 2015 when the restoration was completed. The owner estimates he's driven about 10 miles since that time. However, we drove it over to this school today. That was probably another 600 meters, so maybe we'll say 10.3 miles. Neat grill to feed that 1.17 liter inline four. And you see this hood ornament, it's actually sideways. That's also the hood release for the car. So I'll turn that back to the way it's intended. The hood release works by just turning the ornament and using it as a handle. So maybe hood ornament is the used car salesman in me. It's really just a handle for the hood release. So yeah, very presentable car. As I say, in 1950, so 74 years old. Hard to believe, starting so easily. A chrome bumper up front. It's painted white in the back here. Neat little Prefect badge here. We'll take a look at the trunk. little bit of stowage space, a modern strap here to hold the trunk in place so it doesn't fall right down. And you can see a spare down there. The system for the spare, matching wheel I might add. System for the spare is this panel right here. Comes out to pull the spare out. I'm not going to pull it out myself because I'm not familiar with it. We do have photos of the panel removed so that you can to expose the spare if it ever needed to be pulled out. So that's a good look at the outside of the car. Now why don't we climb in? We'll have a little tour of the inside. So the owner's just got a set of winter mats here in place to protect the floor, and he's installed carpet sort of from the front seat back. Up front, the floorboards are metal, and so long as I'm thinking of the floorboards, I'll show you the rear ones as well. So a matching set of the winter mats here, but under the carpet, in the rear, the floorboards are wood, so no worries about corrosion there. You can see this aftermarket seat belts are bolted down here. No seat belts in the rear. So, let's walk back to the early 1950s with this car. Basic instrumentation. The 3-spoke steering wheel with those metal spokes really is a neat thing. We've got a fuel gauge here. A speedometer going up to 90. I'll have to speak to the owner. I'm not sure if that's kilometers an hour or miles per hour, but we'll get that figured out. We have a clock here that looks inoperable and an amperage meter over here. So the key is just for ignition. It does not start the car. You can see the S for start there. You might have noticed that when I was starting the car. And here's that choke control that I missed when I was starting it. Here's the shifter, a 3-speed manual transmission on the floor, and you can see the pedals there with the clutch on the left. A neat appointment from the 50s. There's an ashtray not only on the driver's side, but also over here on the passenger side. And the windshield wipers are operable, but please see our description in the detailed listing. There's something about some attention the wipers might need. They're operated on an air system. Another aftermarket item we find here are these turn signals. So the original indicators were called tournicators, and those pop out of the B pillar, but this car has been upgraded to have modern electric turn signals. This here is the handbrake, so it's engaged right now because the car is sitting in neutral without moving. And a little bit of storage space, although there's no glove box. There's a bit of storage space on either side. Not a 70s Cadillac or Lincoln in terms of space on this bench seat. This bench seat's made for 2, and there are 2 belts here. So no seat belts originally, but these seat belts were added as a safety item. And in the rear compartment, you can see the ashtray theme continues. Each rear passenger has an ashtray mounted in the door frame. And again, I think this bench is more suited for 2 with an armrest on. So an armrest on either side, one for each one outboard armrest for each passenger, with a parcel shelf in the rear. The headliner is in really nice shape, no looseness, no hanging. But we'll show you this. The car does come with a spare engine and many extra parts. However, the owner does not have the lighting for the dome light here. But as you can see, it's probably an hour's work for the right electrical person. So that's a look at the 1950 Ford Prefect we have available. 1.17 liter engine with a 3-speed manual transmission on the floor. Again, this is a no reserve auction. So this car will have a new owner at the end of our 7-day run. Again, the proceeds, not only from the car, but also our buyer premium, they're being donated to the British Saloon Car Club of Canada. The owner indicated that he wanted to make that contribution to the club. So we played along, and we're going to donate the buyer premium as well. So watch for it as lot 201 on CollectorCarCanada.ca. Again, a no reserve auction. High bidder at the end wins. Thanks for watching. And just a reminder that we also have the Collector Car Stories podcast. Every week we talk to a hobbyist or an enthusiast, get their car story, and hear some of the fun they're having with their cars and the hobby. And we have a lot of fun with it. So I do recommend you check that out. You can see that we do have a podcasts menu item on the website, CollectorCarCanada.CA. But that concludes our little look at the 1950 Ford Prefect. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.